So I cannot just purchase anything. I have to overanalyze every single thing that I buy, sometimes for days at a time. I don't know if you're like me, but hopefully not. Maybe you're like other people, maybe normal people, like the buy now button on Amazon or whatever. I've never used that in my life. I have to go and look at every single possible competitor across different websites, make sure I'm getting the best deal, even different Amazons. I'll go to Amazon France, I'll go to Amazon Germany, I'll go to the UK Amazon. I'm going to check out 3-4 different Amazons to make sure I'm getting the best value possible, right, for whatever I'm purchasing. Not always with like Amazon. Not we'll do that, depending on what it is. But like I have done that before in the past, multiple times, right? Buying a pizza, I can't just buy a pizza. I've got to go and look through every single pizza shop in the area. If you're ordering it for delivery, see which one has currently the best deal on offer, including delivery. Like if the delivery price is too expensive, then that is a big red flag. I'm gonna go somewhere else. Even maybe check out the apps. Probably definitely checking out the apps. See if like they have something going there, cheaper delivery or something. And then after I've gone through all of that palaver, which is literally going through like 4 or 5 different websites, looking through it, and it takes ages, right? Because I've got to find all the best deals. Then I'll be like, okay, this is the current best deal that I'm going to get the most amount of value for pizza-wise, money to pizza-wise type of thing. I can't just buy it. I have to overanalyze everything, whether it be a product. And, today I've been, and yesterday as well, and I've been trying to book a few days away with my girlfriend next week, and it is literally my entire day since I've woken up until now, and I eventually decided on a place, went to try and book it on their website, and there was an error there, and it wouldn't let me book through, and so I've emailed them. Anyway, the point is, it's taken me maybe, I don't know, at least 6-7 hours of like just looking through hundreds of different places to go, looking at different price points, checking out the dates, checking out all the benefits, blah 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 blah. And I'm not looking in a really big location. It's like around like a couple of towns in this specific area that she wants to go. I have to look at every single possible option and consider it. And it just stresses me out, and then it gives me anxiety because I'm like, particularly now, I chose one. I was like, okay, I just needed to choose one, get it over with, and then I can move on with my life. And I chose one, and then it is like, now this error is happening. So now my brain is like, because, what if it doesn't happen? Then I have to go through the whole process again. Hopefully, be slightly more focused, but it's just so stressful to do any single purchase of like anything meaningful. I guess like if it's relatively small, fine, whatever, like, under €10. But sometimes even then, like I will be analysing, making sure that this is the best value option possible from this shop, like this corner shop or like the one beside it. And like the times where you mess up on it is like last year I went away and there was a fish and chip shops and I was so hungry, and we went to one place, got good reviews, it wasn't open, and then we went around the corner, found a different place, went into like a pub restaurant. It was like €20 for fish and chips, literally 20 meters down the road. It was like two buildings down. There was a new, a different fish and chip shop, and it had it for like 12 euro, like so a reasonable price for like a fish and chips instead of 20 something, because it's like a big tourist town, like down the end of in Dingle and Kerry, right? Down the end of the Ireland, and it really annoyed me then, because I was like, what a waste, because the fish and chips wasn't even that good in like the pub. It was fine, man. I was starving, right? So I was just like, fine, let's just go here, because my brain was like, I was not in a good mood because I was so hungry. But even still, then figuring out that I've made I'm still fuming at it. So, like if I make a bad purchasing decision where I find out that then I could have had a better value option, it just annoys the hell out of me, because I think, somewhere deep inside of me, I have this fear. I'm scared, and I do not want to waste money ever. And I guess that's because grew up poor, and like even as an adult, I've been broke for the vast majority of being an adult. I have never had, a load of excess money to be able to spend on things, and so I'm just very careful with the money, and so with that develops this fear of wasting money anywhere on anything, and that like if it's not a necessity, or it's not urgent, or whatever, even if it is like just something you desire, like is this the best value option that I could possibly get? I'm not saying like I don't ever spend money, and to be completely frugal. Like I am pretty frugal, but like I am willing to purchase things, but I just have to go through this song and dance for a long time to purchase anything, and it causes me so much stress, that to the point where I wish I just had like a bit more money. Like having money in life solves so many issues, because you just wouldn't stress, you just wouldn't worry about these things. To be able to go to a restaurant and not worry about how expensive it is gonna be, or being able to go to a hotel or whatever way and not have to worry about the price, or go on Amazon and purchase whatever it is, a new shaver, and be looking into getting a new shaver. And again, I've done all this research, looked at all the reviews. That's something I have to go and look at all the reviews, look at their written reviews, like read through on not just their website, like on Trustpilot and stuff like that. I'll go look at it on YouTube, look at all the different things, and then like I often get swayed away from things that it's so hard to make me buy anything. I am a really difficult person to sell to anybody trying to sell me anything. And I've only ever once fell for like one of those things on the internet, like a drop shipping scam type of thing. I did one time fall for it, because they used complete utter scam, right? They used these pictures of these really cool lightsabers that were like cost a load of money. I knew they cost like something, like 120 plus euro to purchase in real life, and then they were selling them at like 60 euro. I was like, wow, that's like a really good discount, and I always wanted one of those. And the images they used and the videos they used were like these really high end stuff. And then what I got was like delivered in the post with this little tiny plastic toy thing that you would have got from the €2 store, from like the dollar store. Like, and it was literally just flimsy and crap. And I was like, this is like just a scam, right? So I did fall for it one time in my entire life, and I never want to do that again. That time I've been scammed as well, like out of concert tickets as well before. And that was a whole. But that I was purchasing, because of my girlfriend again. And it was like my rational brain that was stopping thinking in that moment. Anyway, and that cost me like 90 euros. Well, anyway, like these things just annoyed. I just hate wasting money, and so I want to have the best deal, and then I will spend so much time to the point where it's like this time was so unproductive for me. Had I just picked the thing that was good enough to go with, ages ago, like because I'm talking about, maybe I'm saving, whatever, 20 euro, 50 euro here or there, right? But like the time and effort I'm putting into trying to find those savings is probably not worth the effort. You know what I'm getting at? Like if I put that time into, doing a productive or working or whatever it is, it would have been more beneficial, I guess. And to be able to not sweat the small stuff. I guess there's like a saying, a thing is like to not sweat the small stuff. And I sweat the small stuff all the time, because I just have been broke for so long that it's so ingrained into me that I cannot, afford to waste money. Whereas if you can get to a point where you have enough money, enough to be able to not sweat the small stuff, maybe my brain would relax. Or who knows, maybe I'll still be like this. I mean, I still probably want to find good things of good value. I'll still do a bit, but like maybe just not to this level and degree. And also, like when you have a bit more money, you can also, your budgets go up, and then like the options open into, like slightly better options for you that are, normally better things. When you're trying to find the best value and budget options and whatever it is, you're always trying to struggle, and like, nothing's perfect, but like you go have a bit more money you can spend on things, normally you enter into a place where, yes, normally everything is pretty good then. And so it's like, whatever. And like also like 50 euro here or there isn't going to do anything to you, but like for me still, I feel like 50 euro here and there, not that it would do, but like it still feels like it does. Anyway, Thank you for listening. That's all I got to say today. Wish me luck. Cause I definitely need some.